Okay, so let's explore the mind, that I often call problem solver mind. And let's explore when it goes back in time and tries to solve something that has already occurred. What we can notice is that without some sort of time machine or something like that, we're not going to be able to go back in time and change something that has already occurred. But now, our problem solver mind is very likely to do that sometimes. Sometimes our problem solver mind will go back in time to something that has already occurred, some decision that we've made, some choice that we made, some event that has happened, some past occurrence. Sometimes our problem solver mind, especially for big things that really matter to us, that really affect us in very powerful ways, very often the tendency of our problem solver mind is to go back in time and try to solve that, try to figure it out, analyze it, and, mull it over and try to solve it and reconsider it and change it. And did we do it right? And see how if I let myself get in there, I could spin and spin and spin. And then it creates all kinds of emotion, because what we notice is when problem solver mind goes back in time, it can't actually solve it because it already occurred. It can't change it because it has already occurred. But problem solver mind will go in there and try to work it and analyze it and figure it out and change it and solve it. And because it can't solve it, we start spinning, and that creates all kinds of emotional, energetic experiences like heartbreak, regret, remorse. Another one that can happen for certain types of things are shame or guilt, regret, resentments, all kinds of energetic feelings can happen when problem solver mind goes back in time and tries to solve something that has already occurred, which it can't solve, but it will try, because its job is to try to solve it for us, to try to make it better for us. It's not in any way wrong or bad that it does this. This is the nature of our problem solver mind. It's always just trying to make things better for us, to solve these dilemmas, these things that it deems as problematic. But once again, if we notice the dynamics of this, when problem solver mind goes back in time and tries to do that for us, tries to solve this, in air quotes, problem, it won't be able to solve it, but it will keep trying and keep spinning it and looking at it from other things, different facets, analyze, and then it'll start creating these emotional energies like heartbreak or regret or guilt, shame, resentment, blame. These energies can be a byproduct of when we let problem solver mind go back in time. And so one of the possibilities, along with the living practice, because once we're pulled in, once we're already affected and we're feeling these kind of energies, then our best resource is the living practice, where we just let ourselves feel the heartbreak or the regret or the guilt or the resentment or the shame or whatever it is. If we're already affected, then it's the living practice. But now, another possibility, if we can catch it early in the flow, is problem solver mind practice, where when we notice our mind doing that, we can possibly catch it early and say, hey, problem solver mind, is there anything of benefit that can be done regarding that now? The answer will be no. And when the answer is no, we can thank our problem solver mind. Thank you so much, problem solver mind, for trying to solve that for me. But we don't have the ability to change that. So then once we thank our problem solver mind, then bring your attention back to your breath. Long, slow breath. Breathing in through your nose and letting your belly expand on the in-breath. Focus on that. And then on the out-breath, focus on letting your belly slowly press back in and breathe out your mouth. And then breathing in through your nose, letting the belly slowly expand. Nice and long and slow. And then on the out-breath, real gently let the belly slowly press back in and breathe slowly out the mouth. Nice and long and slow. And we try to stay focused on that style of breathing, that style of pranayama, that style of breathing. It will relax the nervous system, and then potentially we don't get pulled into all that affect, all that feeling that we would create for ourselves if we let problem solver mind go further into that event and try to solve it, which it won't be able to do. So this is another possible resource if we can catch it early in the flow. Now, if we don't catch it early and we're already affected, we're already feeling heartbreak or guilt or shame or regret or resentment, whatever, energy we're feeling because we let problem solver mind go back and try to solve that thing that it can't solve, well, then it's the living practice. But another possibility, if we can catch it early, would be problem solver mind practice. Hey, problem solver mind, is there anything of benefit that can be done regarding that? Now, the answer will be no. Thank you so much, problem solver mind, for trying to solve that for me. But we can't actually solve that. It's already happened. And now I'm going to focus on breath. And we focus on the breath. Long, slow in-breath, breathing in through the nose, letting the belly expand. And then on the out-breath, letting the belly gently press back in, and we breathe out the mouth. This gives us a chance to come back to this moment, focusing on the breath. And when we focus on that style of breathing, it will relax the nervous system. And the nervous system will stop activating all the chemistry lab that gets created when we let problem solver mind go back in time. So this is a possibility for these type of life events that have enough of an impact on us that our problem solver mind will keep trying to go back in time to try to solve that for us. Nice, long, slow breaths. Breathing in through the nose and letting the belly expand. And breathing out the mouth and letting the belly slowly press back in. And as we stay focused on our breath, nice, long, slow in-breaths. And nice, long, slow out-breaths. We start to notice that the system begins to relax as we stay focused on our breath, letting the belly expand on the in-breath, breathing in through the nose, and letting the belly slowly press back in as we breathe out the mouth. The whole system begins to relax, and then we can rest in that presence that is our natural state. In every moment, there is this natural ease, this natural peace, this calm essence that is our true nature. We can rest in that. Because any moment that we let problem solver mind go back in time, all that does is create a bunch of suffering for us that's unnecessary. Doesn't help in any way, anything to do with it, because we can't change the past. So it's suffering that we create for ourselves, that we don't have to create for ourselves. We have an option. It doesn't do us or the past any good to get pulled there because there's no changing it. So we come back to the moment. Nice, long, slow in-breaths, breathing in through the nose, letting the belly expand. And nice, long, slow out-breaths out the mouth, letting the belly slowly press back in. We rest back into this moment, into this presence, realizing each time we do this practice that we don't have to create that suffering for ourselves. We have a choice of where we put our attention. And it is attention that determines what we're experiencing in every moment. Wherever we're putting our attention, that's what lights up. Because attention is consciousness. And wherever we let our attention go, that's what lights up. So we don't have to let our attention be pulled back in time. In the same way, when problem solver mind goes forward in time, there's a whole other dynamic if we let problem solver mind go forward in time. That creates what we call worry. Because problem solver mind can't solve something that's forward of this moment either. In the same way that it can't solve something that already occurred, it can't solve something that hasn't occurred yet. But it is likely to do that as well. And when we let problem solver mind go forward in time, it creates what we call worry, which can then lead to anxiety and fear and all those kind of things. So in both directions, problem solver mind will try to help us out. But in either direction, it can't actually solve. It can't solve something that's forward of this moment, because it's not occurring yet. That creates worry and anxiety and fear and all of that. And it can't solve something that already occurred, which creates heartbreak. Guilt. Sadness. Regret. Resentments. Shame. Blame. All of those are byproducts of when we let problem solver mind go back in time. So with this practice, problem solver mind practice, we can sometimes catch it early and ask problem solver mind, is there anything of benefit that can be done right now, whether it's going back in time or forward in time? When the answer is no, we bring our attention to our breath. Nice, long, slow in-breaths, breathing in through the nose, letting the belly expand, and nice, long, slow out-breaths, breathing out the mouth and letting the belly slowly, gently press in. We rest in presence. We don't have to create all that unnecessary suffering, whether it's going back in time or forward in time. It's all made suffering that is unnecessary. We can rest in presence, letting the breath be nice and long and slow. Each in-breath, nice and long and slow.